which has happened under your guidance, and we look forward to have the discussion further. Thank you to the Secretary so for giving FICCI and UNICEF this opportunity, and we were able to have this discussion. So I'll just say that the topic is very close to the whole discussion because we understand the stakeholders we are talking out here are really important. Whether you talk out their inclusion, whether you talk about governance, whether you talk about having the AI by design, keeping children in mind. So that is what the session is going to talk about it. And we definitely feel this is the starting point. We will come back to you with further more initiatives in this domain along with our partners. With this, I welcome all the dignitaries, all the delegates. Thank you for being supportive. And may I now request our Director General, Ms. Jyoti Vij, to kindly deliver the welcome remarks.
Thank you, Sarika. Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. Shri S. Krishnan, Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Her Excellency, May Ellen Stinners, Ambassador of Norway to India, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Maldives. Fellow panelists and your friends, good afternoon to everyone. And on behalf of FICCI, it's my privilege to welcome everyone to this very important session on AI and children, turning principles and into practice for safe, inclusive, and empowering AI. We're very happy to partner with UNICEF for this very important session and subject. UNICEF Office of Innovation is working to ensure the next generation of AI is inclusive, ethical, and impactful. My special thanks to Professor Sood and Mr. Krishnan for joining us this afternoon, and they are the ones who are leading the AI agenda in the country. I'm very happy to have you here with us. As I see it, AI and children have two basic aspects. One is to make AI safe for children, and the other is to empower them. The National Education Policy 2020 has emphasized the importance of AI and its role in school curriculum, and Ministry of Education, Government of India, has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing AI and computational thinking as essential components of future-ready education, thus empowering the children with the AI tool. This initiative marks a nascent yet significant step towards the ethical use of AI to solve complex problems, as technology will organically be embedded from the foundational stage, beginning in grade 3 from the upcoming academic session. As far as industry is concerned, India's edtech industry is playing a major role here. AI's adaptive learning abilities have a big impact on education delivery. Leading Indian edtech platforms are continually looking to utilize AI's adaptability to analyze student performance and suggest tailored learning experiences to address specific areas of improvement. As artificial intelligence becomes deeply integrated into the education, healthcare, governance, and daily digital interactions, it is increasingly shaping the experiences of millions of children across India and around the world. India today is home to more than 250 million school-going children, and at the level nearly 1 in 3 internet users is under the age of 18. And these numbers do underline the scale and urgency of our responsibility. The decisions we make today will influence how safely, equitably, and productively children engage with AI-driven systems in the coming years. At FICCI, we firmly believe that principles must be translated into practice. Ethical AI cannot remain confined to guiding documents. It must be embedded into the product design, procurement frameworks, regulatory standards, data governance systems, and capacity building initiatives. When the conversation concerns the children, the margin for error becomes extremely small, making responsible implementation even more critical. And we're very deeply honored to have with us today the distinguished leaders who are shaping this agenda at the national and international level. And we do look forward to meaningful and insightful discussions today and to identify clear and actionable pathways ahead. Thank you for being part of this dialogue, and very warm welcome once again.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for putting up the right perspective from principles into practice, and that's what this session gets into. But next, we get to you, the real face for whom we are organizing this session. Can we have Ms. Prasadhi Singh, youth advocate, to talk about and to give a children and a youth address? How do she feels that AI for children is important, and how the children are the early adopters of AI, and how they needs to be part of the integral system? Over to you, Prasidhi. 4 minutes to you.
The time of great importance. Greetings, namaste, and vanakkam from Generation AI. I am Prasidhi Singh, 13 years of age, from Chengalpattu, Tamil Nadu, a UNICEF India youth advocate. And I present to you the children and youth statement for a safe and inclusive AI future. Not just a document, a mandate built from the voices of nearly 54,000 young people across 184 countries. Further informed by focused group discussions across India with other children and young people. This statement is an urgent call to action to ensure that the AI systems are shaped with and for children and young people. We present the following 8 demands, calling on governments, regulatory authorities, think tanks, civil society organizations, UN bodies, and technology companies to ensure and take immediate and collective action. Demand 1, ensure that AI systems are inclusive by design and use diverse and representative data sets that reflect the lived experiences of marginalized communities across caste, class, gender, geography, and racial contexts. 2, ensure strong data protection, ethical standards, and safety in the development and use of AI, including age appropriate design and safeguards against harmful AI generated content. 3, invest in education systems and institutional capacities to prepare children and young people to engage with AI critically, ethically, and safely. 4, develop and implement parental guidance and support mechanisms to help them guide and protect children's interactions with AI while respecting their privacy, safety, freedom of expression, and evolving capacities. 5, invest in emerging opportunities for children and young people to engage with AI through incubation, through mentorship, through project based initiatives that support real world problem solving. 6, invest in building accessible AI ready skills for children and young people and ensure that they are equipped for meaningful employment opportunities. 7, address the risks of job displacement and exclusion, particularly the use of automated screening that can often unfairly disadvantage children and young people from marginalized communities, by ensuring transparency and human oversight in AI driven recruitment processes. And finally, 8, meaningfully engage children and young people from grassroots communities as AI ambassadors and contributors throughout the AI life cycle. Real seats, real opportunities, real ways to engage in the decision making. Because when young people shape AI as equal partners, it is nation building, it is planet building, it builds creators, not merely consumers of the future. So, yes, as Gen AI, we want the future to be smart. Certainly, we want the future to be smart, but we also want it to be fair. The only question left is whether you are ready to build it with us. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Prasiddhi, and you already had a round of applause. You can understand. Yes, that's the answer from the group that we are ready to build up with you all getting into the picture. With this, can I request Shri S. Krishnan, Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, sir, to kindly deliver his address. So we first of all compliments to you, sir, for organizing such a mega activity, which is assemble who's and who and anyone you talk about the subject with respect to AI as under one roof. So compliments to the ministry, and we are happy that we could partner with you. But on this subject, so your thoughts. Over to you for your address.
Thank you very much, Principal Scientific Advisor, Ambassador Cynthia McAfee, Mr. Gokul Subramaniam, and Jyoti Vij of FICCI, and of course Prasiddhi. I was very happy to hear that Prasiddhi was from Chengalpat in Tamil Nadu, my home state, which brought back memories to me of the earliest joke. And since we are in a UNICEF gathering, I think it's worth recollecting because it's the first joke I remember I was told as a child, and it was about Chengalpat. There was this person whose father told him, saying that, look, I have to get up in the morning, and Chengalpat is a town which is 60 kilometers from Chennai. It's exactly an hour. So I have to get up in the morning and go to Chengalpat. So please make sure that you wake me up in time. So this boy got up in the morning, and being a young kid, he decided that, why should I put my father through all the trouble? And instead of waking up his father, he went to Chengalpat and came back. So the father got so angry that he boxed his ear so hard it came out. So he lost a ear. So this kid was crying and he went out onto the street. And suddenly he started laughing because he saw a dog running along without either ear, both its ears gone. So he said, this dog has gone to Chengalpat twice. So this joke is relevant in a completely different context. And it is relevant because of one, the kind of initiative that children and the youth are capable of taking, and two, how misunderstood they can sometimes be, and three, the kind of mistakes that parents and the elder generation makes. So I think from that perspective, I can fully empathize with what Prasiddhi had to say about what we need to do for youth and for the younger generation as far as AI is concerned. Clearly, when she says Gen AI, she does not mean generative AI. She means the generation of AI. And that, I think, is important. We are doing all of this for them. This is not an event which is truly meant for our generation. It is the ability to sort of make sure that we equip that generation, the next generation, with possibly a technology which is broad-based and cross-cutting, which can make all the difference, especially for countries of the global south, to really move up in the development chain. They would probably become countries, they would probably become truly developed and prosperous with opportunities, fair opportunities for all, only if we make the right decisions today, which is why the theme of even this AI Impact Summit is about people, planet, and progress. The human centricity is important. The democratization of AI resources is important. Making sure that human capital is developed in such a way that they can take advantage of AI is important. And understanding, and especially, I think that is what is critical. We need to look at this not with fear, but with the understanding that this is something which can truly be very meaningful for another generation and very meaningful for humanity itself, to address it in such a way that we don't worry so much about the ill effects. Of course, we have to guard against them, but look at the opportunities and see what it can do in terms of increasing human potential, human capability, the way productivity can go up, and the way that economic progress and societal change can reach everybody. I think that is the positive outlook with which we get there. At the same time, we need to think about governance mechanisms which will guard us against the ill effects. And that is something that, at least in the Government of India and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, that is something we are working for all the time. For instance, even in the latest regulation relating to AI, which came out just last week, which is about how synthetically generated content can be uploaded with labels, but even when you do it with labels, it doesn't give people a license to actually put out content which is harmful to children and others. So we need to be mindful of this. We need to ensure that it protects them, but at the same time, we need to make sure that we offer as many opportunities as possible so that they can access it. This particular summit also includes Yuva AI, a challenge which has been thrown open for children between 13 and 20 years of age, which has been extensively participated in. So it's in that sense oriented towards this. Of course, you have a stellar panel, including the chair of our expert panel on AI governance, who would be talking to you in great detail about the other elements of it. Today, I'm sure you're also very excited, but truly the success of what we have attempted to do here in Delhi as part of the AI Impact Summit is reflected in this hall as it was in many other halls, standing room only, everyone engaged, everyone participating, and with the kind of enthusiasm which we wanted to put on display, because this is what India can do to AI when the time comes. And this is what we can generate with the kind of human engagement with this. When the Stanford Vibrancy Index on AI comes out, what they highlight, and the reason why India ranks third is because of the talent and because of the participation amongst youth and how ready they are for AI. And clearly, like Prasiddhi and many others, that is a generation we should not fail, and we should work and ensure that they have this opportunity. I would have loved to stay and hear the views of all the participants and the discussion around the house, but unfortunately, I think there's a lot going on outside of this hall as well. We are waiting to receive the Prime Minister at 5 p.m. as well in the expo. And I can assure you the expo is something that all of you, before you leave the AI Summit, should go and visit. It's open for the public from tomorrow for 4 days till the 20th. So please do visit that as well. There are incredible number of startups and many other companies who have displayed wonderful things there, which I'm sure you would truly find enriching. Thank you again for all of you for joining us here at the AI Impact Summit. I can see the visible impact. You have made the impact by all turning out here in such numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So thank you for such an address from the heart, and of course, talking about people, planet, and progress, with which we all abide by. With this, I come to our next speaker, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. Sir, for your address, you have released the Strengthening of AI Governance Techno-Legal Framework. So we'd like to hear about and giving the child in mind. Thank you, Secretary, sir, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, my congratulations to FICCI, UNICEF and MITI for putting this very, very important session on AI and children. I fully concur with what Prasiddhi said and what Mr. Krishnan said. It's really a very exciting moment, and the energy and vibrancy in this summit on the first day itself is palpable. You will all agree that this is truly inspiring. So we all know that as AI is becoming more accessible, it is also becoming more present in children's daily lives. And this is coming through learning tools, through content platforms and different models. So this, as was mentioned, creates a governance responsibility to ensure that children can benefit from AI potential for learning and inclusion, while being protected from harms that scale quickly in digital environment. So we were just looking at the data which is there in open source, that in children interaction with AI is really rising very, very rapidly in the last 1 year. For example, 67% of teens in UK now use AI. In US, it's also almost like 40% of elementary age children, and they are using AI-powered educational tools. Now, in India's child-specific AI usage data is still emerging. It's not fully done, but I'm sure it will happen soon. But the fact that ecosystem is primed for growth is clear, because 85.5% of households now own a smartphone, and 86% have internet access within their premises. So it may not be in houses, but this is the available data. This immediately tells us that the digital penetration has happened, and the Indian children are increasingly exposed to AI-driven platforms. And that is why it underscores what was said, the need for safe, inclusive and empowering framework developed for tailored for their development needs. Now, as AI systems are now shaping the learning pattern, the information access, behavior responses, especially of children, that really we need to look at. A big challenge is, as far as I can see, we still do not fully know the long term effects of growing up with AI companions. Personalized learning apps, algorithm driven feeds, and synthetic media. More evidence is needed with the help of all of you, all the experts, to understand how these tools impact a child's development, mental health, and education over time. Now, for children, also true for adults as well, often we describe AI is a double-edged sword. So the governance objective should be to sharpen the edge of opportunity while blunting the edge of risk. On the opportunity side, AI can support more personalized pedagogy by helping children learn at their own pace and providing timely feedback beyond classroom hours. So you probably all know a few months back, Tong district in Rajasthan, they had a AI-enabled personalized learning experience initiative called Padai with AI. I'm sure some of you would have looked at the outcome of that initiative. This was to address weak mathematics outcomes in government schools. So as a result, the class 10 mathematics class rose to 96% within 6 weeks as per their data, alongside an improvement in higher achiever performance. So this AI can also strengthen inclusion by improving accessibility for children with disabilities, for example, through speech to text, text to speech, and translation features that usually reduce barriers to participation across languages and abilities. And this is where the power of AI will come. At the same time, we have all been seeing there are associated risks that require deliberate safeguarding. And this is what we need to see. How do we avoid over reliance on AI tools? Because this does weaken critical thinking, independent problem solving, and learning resilience. So the fear is that now everyone's CV is perfect because you generate using chat GPT. But is it really the truth thing? And you can really be fooled by AI generated framework. You start believing in it. So this is something which we all need to guard against. So because we have also seen that children often lack the data literacy to understand how their interaction may create long-term digital footprints and exposures. Because what you do today is going to be there for ad infinitum on the digital platform, and this is something we need to worry about. So in this context, as was mentioned, India has taken governance initiative and our office has been deeply involved. India AI mission provided a pathway to build capability and widen access while strengthening safeguards for safe and trusted AI. We brought the AI governance framework in November 2025, and 2 weeks back we had a white paper on strengthening AI safety using techno-legal framework, which was mentioned. And this is something, again, an experiment which we have to do, how techno-legal framework, which about which we had a very, very good experience in DPI 1.0, how it can be adopted for AI safety and also the data governance. So this is something where all the players are needed in this safety exercise. Now, internationally, the UNICEF, which is a part of this, guidance on AI and children. They set out requirement for child-centric AI governance, safety, and all that will go a long way to operationalize on how AI is designed and deployed. Now, I will just close by a few remarks. The real balancing act lies in empowering children through AI, not just as a user, as was mentioned, but as future creators. And this is probably the most important message which I see, how children should be involved right from the beginning in creating it, not only in the using it. And that is why by integrating AI literacy into school curricula and the other platform, we can make it happen. And good news is that our Ministry of Education has a program. They had a program here few days back, and there is a definitive strong attempt to bring AI in school curricula. So I think this is an ongoing effort where the need to embed child-specific safeguards and guardrails into governance framework is not a choice, it is a must, and all of us should put our heads together to make sure that the future generation is not a victim of today's technology. And this is something for all of us to see, and I think the deliberations in this panel discussion will help to come out with a more action-oriented plan. And I wish you all the very best, and it is a pleasure to be associated with this AI movement in the country personally, as well as by our office along with MITI and other stakeholders, so that we can make a difference for the young generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Child being adopters, not only creators, and it's being a must. That's a message we carry from your address. Thank you. With this, can I request the speakers for the inaugural session to kindly switch over? Thank you, dignitaries, for joining in, and we proceed with the panel discussion. My team would just set up the dais, but it's an esteemed set of panel which has joined us today. The panelists for the session are Her Excellency May Ellen Stenner, Ambassador of Norway to India, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Maldives; Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, Member Secretary, NCPCR; Mr. Thomas Devin, Global Innovation Director, UNICEF; Mr. Gokul Subramaniam, President, Intel India, and a co-chair for FICCI AI Committee; Mr. Hector D. River, Director, Responsible AI Public Policy at Microsoft; Mr. Ajay Vij, Senior Country Managing Director, Accenture; Mr. Kumar Anurag Pratap, Vice President, Capgemini. And the session is going to be moderated by Ms. Henrietta Ridley, Chief AI, UNICEF. Henrietta, you have a hard task. I can only afford to give you 23 minutes.
23 minutes. I can work with that. Thank you very much. And thank you, panel, for joining. I wanted to start with a very quick human moment. I lost my luggage on the way here, so I'm here with far fewer resources than I planned, but still functional. And it's a really useful reminder for today that systems fail. And the question is whether we've built and are building AI so that when it fails, children aren't the ones that are going to be paying the price for that. We have a 23-minute conversation with 7 speakers. I'll keep us moving, hopefully. Please help me as best you can as we go through that. I may step in gently. I will try not to be rude. But I wanted to start, Your Excellency. In my luggage situation, I've learned that it'll be fine isn't a very good strategy. And I'm going to attempt a simple question that's never actually that simple. So, how do you make AI designed and governed in a way that truly empower children and young people while safeguarding their rights and well-being? And could you share Norway's vision and experience in ensuring that?
Yes, please, I can, and thank you very much for having me on this panel. Safe and inclusive AI for children and young people is a priority for Norway. So it's great to be here. We also have a very clear vision. Technology, including AI, must support and not undermine children's rights. It must not undermine the children's safety, participation, learning, and well-being. It must support it. So that's where we are. So in your luggage situation, you know you could not trust it, but we think that digital and AI driven environments should be trustworthy. They should be equitable, they should be empowering, and align also with the UN Convention for the Rights of the Child. So that's a starting point. We have the Norwegian government for 5 years coordinated a national focus on safe digital upbringing of children. We have a strategy that highlights that it's important to address both opportunities and challenges and risks linked to digitalization. Protecting and empowering children in an AI-driven world requires combining rights-based governance, digital competence, and risk mitigation frameworks. Digital empowerment comes with digital competence. So we have been working to increase parents' and children's digital competence to secure children's rights in the digital environment. We have actually found some very worrying numbers. 95% of Norwegian children aged 9 to 11 have their own mobile phone. That's up from 85% 10 years ago. 72% of the same group of children use social media, even though the legal age is 13 years old. And almost half of the 13, 14 years old have seen scary or violent images or videos at least once in the past year. So this is really quite worrying. They've also got hate messages directed at them. So we need to discuss what can we do with this, and where social media is a main source of news for Norwegian children and youth, as I believe they are all over the world. We are discussing higher minimum age for social media use. We are also discussing raising the GDPR age of consent up to 15 years of age. And we are working at issuing national health authority recommendations on screen use, on screen time, and on social media. We are also looking at measurements to remove mobile phones from schools. We are proposing legislation to strengthen penalties for violations of marketing regulations targeting children. Addressing online crime and exploitation of children and youth is also necessary. So all these experiences ensure safe digital upbringing for all children is really a top priority for the Norwegian government. We cannot allow the algorithms, the screens, to take over childhood. They must be protected from harmful content, abuse, commercial exploitation, and misuse of personal data. So that's where we are and what we need to do, we think, from Norway. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Ambassador. The emphasis on guardrails is such a powerful framing. If we now zoom out from a national approach to the global picture, I'll hand over to Thomas. You have the advantage of seeing what works globally and what we therefore need to take with us at all times. If you had to name the core pillars that actually make AI safe, inclusive, and empowering for children, what would you say to those?
Thank you. I'll try to be brief. Famous last words.
Thank you.
First, it's wonderful to be here. And indeed, we look at AI as an incredible opportunity for us to achieve outcomes, better outcomes for children. It's also something that is going to revolutionize everything in the world. The way we access knowledge, the way we build skills, the way we access healthcare, the way we potentially access social protection. And so the question is, how do we design those systems in a way that makes the most of them and helps the next generation to really thrive in the world rather than become the victims of systems we just haven't thought through? We would suggest 3 key principles. The first one is AI must be safe by design, not as an afterthought, but as a foundation. What does that mean? It means strong age-appropriate safeguards, protection from harmful content, manipulation, bias, misuse. It means data protection systems whereby sharing of data is actually protected and consensual for children. It means built-in accountability so that when something goes wrong, and we know things will go wrong, there is redress mechanism. There is the ability to look under the hood and understand what has gone wrong. How do we manage this better? Second principle, AI must be inclusive by default. It has to serve every child, not just the digitally privileged. We know that 90% of AI systems today in the world are built by 10% of the world's population. Most of the systems that we're building are not appropriate to the global south. They don't understand it. As we know, initially there were so many facial recognitions that simply was working for white people only. And there's so many elements of this. How do we manage AI systems that are built for inclusion, that managed the understanding of how will this work for different languages? How will this work for different disabilities? There are incredible potential to use text-to-speech, speech-to-text to revolutionize access to knowledge for children with disabilities. Are we optimizing for that? Do we understand how does that work in rural context? Do we have online and offline capabilities for these AI systems? All of this will be elements that we want to build from the outset and not have to retrofit afterwards, leaving behind ever further millions of people in rural settings and in less favored settings. 3, AI must empower children and young people not just as users, but as creators, as participants, having voice in the governance, having the ability to challenge whether it works or not. When we bring an AI solution to school, we should work with the children to understand how is this working for you. We should work with them long term to understand in bringing that knowledge, are we building learning outcomes that are built by the AI or by yourself? Are we potentially making it more difficult for you to be critical, to have analytical thinking? And so really building this at the heart and having parents understanding how that works for, for them to be really able to be the guiding principles and understanding how these systems work. So AI literacies for children and for parents as well. These all of this means, and this is really what makes me so happy, is the panel. This is an all of society approach. It will only work if all of us get together to make it work, to challenge each other, to have governance systems, to have redress systems that we feed in, participate in, and manage. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Thomas. That gives a really clear set of principles. Now, those principles only work if they show up in practice as well. So let's look at what accountability really looks like. I will also just say I've been reminded of the time. We've got 5 speakers and we've got 9 minutes. So do with that what you will. But Dr. Sharma, what are some of the steps that have been taken by NCPCR in ensuring that AI systems remain safe and accountable for children?
Thank you for having me here. So I'll start where Thomas left. But I'll take a few seconds to tell you 2 stories to tell you what AI is doing so far as child rights are concerned. There was this boy who was chatting with the AI chatbot without knowing that this is chatbot, and got so emotionally dependent. One day he committed suicide at the prompt of this AI chatbot. So this is one story. There is another story. A state in India is using AI-based app to find out the weight and measure of the children, those who are attending the Anganwadi. There's a scheme of Government of India where the children go, they study and eat the food. So this AI tool has enormously improved. So these are there is a positive story and there's a negative story, and both bother us at NCPCR. National Commission for Protection of Child Right, let me tell you, is a child right body set up by Government of India. We are a statutory body, so we have some statutory powers that we can implement. So coming to what we are doing is one very important area which have been bothering us is the child sexual abuse material. 2024 alone, we have more than 64,000 cases of child sexual abuse material being generated in the country. So as a result of this, what we are doing is we are developing an AI-based tool which we will be able to actually deploy and proactively find out which are the social media platforms and the internet platforms that are being used for circulating this CSAM. And Fortunately, in a recent court case, there is safe harbor principle which was extended to the social media platform wherein they were not responsible for third party content has been removed. So we can take action against them. We are working proactively on this. Very quickly, there's another very important issue which has been bothering us is related to the mental health. The NCPCR runs a therapy line where we provide the counseling. And we always find it's very difficult to get the volunteers for this. So AI can be used for this. And recent study suggests that the accuracy rate of AI tool is 89% for detecting the psychological conditions. And secondly, mental health is actually something which if we can actually detect early, we can do a lot in this. So AI tool can be used for this. Ministry of Education, as sir has already pointed out, is starting the AI from class 3rd curricula. We are engaging with the Ministry of Education to develop the responsible AI tool. So these are the few things I want to stop here. We are doing so many things, but because of the paucity of time, I'm not taking your time. But if you want, I'm always available for the discussion. Thank you very much.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. So I'll move on to Mr. Subramaniam. Staying practical, if empowering AI is the destination, what are Intel's priorities? Where are you placing those bets?
So clearly, technology is pretty critical, and at a compute level, for us, responsible AI is at the foundation of everything that we're doing, not an afterthought. So there are very common things that are important but normally overlooked. One is protecting the data, protecting the model, and protecting the user. So all of these are important. A lot of times data and models get talked about, not so much about the user. The second aspect I think Prasiddha talked about, Professor Sood talked about, and Krishan, one is how can you give compute such that our children learn to use it and contribute and not just become users. So bringing affordable AI so that they can actually be not only users but co-creating it with us. And the third part is when we talk about AI, it's about giving a very transparent scaffolding so that the human is in the loop. That's a very important aspect. And how to bring technology such that that scaffolding is always available. An example could be a parent being able to be a co-pilot when the children is using the AI. So when a question is asked about give me a picture of a doctor, regardless of what gender or color it shows, the parent is able to sit down with the children and ask, why do you think that answer came? So that the child is able to know what is wrong with the technology or what is right with it. And the last part is making sure that this is less of technology but a more human responsibility that all of us have. We shouldn't make AI suddenly become the next generation digital babysitters, which means it cannot be taking the human out of the loop. Already the communication that the generation AI grows up with is a lot with these chatbots and these language models. The words that come out that are generated are not as powerful and accountable as the words that come from a human. And that generation will have to now know what that word means. And that's something we all have as a social responsibility.
Excellent, thank you. Now, we have got, and I will ask for some help, we have 3 minutes, we have 3 of you left to speak, so we're going quick fire, we will make it to the end. So, Mr. Vij, for India and other global south economies with huge numbers of young people entering the workforce, how does AI reshape skilling?
Just put it on ChatGPT, they'll get an answer.
Fabulous, there we go.
No, but jokes apart, the buzz that you see today on skilling and upskilling is basically to fill the immediate gap. To really make a long-term impact, you need children to come on board, right? And that's where I think all of us need to play a role. The nature of work is going to change as these kids grow up. I think the responsibility is on us to make it happen for them. What AI is going to bring to the table is democratization, the word is being used a lot, and equality of knowledge. Right? Their ability to learn anything is possible, and you don't need to have a degree. You need a certain skill to be able to solve problems. That's what's going to be important. My mantra, one-line mantra or a one-word mantra to anybody today is learn to learn. Teach that to the children in the education curriculum. Each one of us needs to learn that the knowledge available is immense. If we can build that in the DNA that you constantly need to learn, that's where AI will play a role. It will give you enough data, it will give you enough ability. The second, I would say, secret here is access. If, like you, Prasiddhi, spoke about it, if there is no access, we can keep building the knowledge, it doesn't reach the real user. So access, and then of course that leads to a whole lot of inclusion. Right? So I would say that's what AI is bringing to the table. I think you and I have that responsibility to make it happen for Prasiddhi in future.
Fantastic insights, thank you. Now, Mr. De Revoir, you're really at the pointy end where principles meet product and policy. How are global tech leaders, decision makers approaching the design challenge, AI that's safe, inclusive, and genuinely empowering, especially for children?
Yes, thank you very much for having me here. At Microsoft, we invested in responsible AI practices long before there were any codes, directives, regulations, etc., mandating it, because we really felt that it was necessary to earn the trust of our users. And so in 2018, we launched our responsible AI principles, among which privacy, fairness, reliability, safety, security, transparency, inclusion. And since then, this has been our North Star. When we develop some new lines of AI systems, applications, and models, we build from the start these AI application system models with this responsible AI standard in mind. It's so interesting to look at data usage and how models are used. It's fascinating to see that, for instance, on device, generally, Copilot is used for work, tech, employment questions. On your phone, you're mostly asking health questions. And unfortunately, for young users, sometimes these kind of AI companions products have been considered as a counselor, sometimes even as a doctor. And that has led to tragic outcomes. And I think that's our responsibility as a group to elevate the floor for safety. It can take many forms, but the heart of this is really advancing the science of AI evaluation, better understanding the risks such as emotional dependency, over-reliance, sycophantic behavior, anthropomorphic behavior. And actually, we need to do this together. Microsoft, we just launched a Microsoft Use Council to actually onboard the kids in this adventure to strengthen safeguards. So for all the kids in the room, I invite you to apply to this Use Council and help us to make our product safer.
Amazing, thank you. So let's end where it really matters, who benefits and who risks being left out. Mr. Pratap, how can we ensure that young women, rural youth and first-generation learners are not left behind in the AI transition? What concrete skills or systematic shifts are most critical to achieving inclusive AI?
How many seconds I have?
You have a minute.
Okay,
And we're just
thank
going to
you.
keep going until we get
60
kicked off the
seconds.
stage.
No, the few strands of AI that there's a need for all of us to understand. One, there's a need to make it real democratic, because right now what's happening is that the content is getting developed by few limited people based on what I've experienced, what I have seen, what I have heard, and the kind of data which is being available there, without bringing in the experiences of the marginalized communities. If I talk about India itself, there's a huge chunk of people whose voices are still not heard there. How to get those voices heard in some of these discourses which is happening there. There are languages which are not written. So how you bring in those verbal form of communication into the data pack which is getting available there. Third is that we all are talking about AI for people. No one or there's a need to bring in AI by the people and with the people there. And that's where the young people, kids, they need to become part of their, and they need to share their voices when when we all are talking about inclusive AI there. That's one. Second is, we are not looking at the whole augmented capacity of AI there. You talked about rural women, the ASHA workers are there. If you look at the nurses who are working in rural areas, if you bring in AI to their doorstep, augment it in a way that can enhance the delivery of theirs, that will in so many ways will change the quality of life that people are having. But that will require, we all need to bring in the voices from those segments to come in there and talk about it. We are asking everyone to get mainstreamed on AI without acknowledging or without sharing that whose stream we should consider as main. We are all are asking, everyone is asking that we all need to go and follow certain views and certain opinions which are there. Whose opinions are there? And the moment we unpack these realities, the AI will become more inclusive there. Till the time we hold it, and we hold it by saying that, hey, this is the ultimate truth, we won't be able to make it very inclusive there.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all of the panelists for making it in time. And I'll hand over.
Can I have a round of applause for the panelists? You can see the diplomats, industry, everybody sticking, and to our moderator. Thank you, Henrietta, for making my life and our life easier and wrapping up in time. It was not easy to get the content from the dignitaries in the given time. Thank you for being supportive. Can I have Cynthia now, of course, the UNICEF India representative, for giving her way forward as well as the conclusion. After that, we wrap up. Kindly don't move right now. Thank you.
My dear friend, and the wrap up is number one, thank you to the panel and to the myriad and expertise that you provided from different sectors. Thank you to FICCI, to pulling this together and bringing such a diverse perspective, but also diverse audience. Thank you to the government of India for making this possible. The energy, as you said, is palpable. And so thank you for giving us this opportunity. You have brought incredible insights from across very different perspectives, whether it's industry or rights, governments beyond India. So what we would love to see, and as you go forth and you talk to your colleagues and you go to other panels, this is what our dream would be, is the declaration, when the leaders come on the 19th and the 20th, and they release their declaration, that it talks about very explicitly the pathway that you're informing, which is that the leaders, they say it themselves, the leaders commit to promoting and protecting children and young people in active AI participation, that we're going to work together to build their future as well as to protect their safety. And when they do it, that holds us to account. So let's have and encourage the leaders to declare that, and then let's hold each other to account to make sure that we deliver it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, everybody. Can I have the speakers for the group photograph? Can we have the speakers for the group photograph?